What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Tide Talk podcast. I am your host, Stacey Blackwood, and today we got a big show. We're going to be talking about what the Elliot Washington commitment means for the class of 2023 and Nick Saban. We're going to be talking about the possibility of Bill O'Brien moving on and moving back to the NFL and what that could mean for Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. And also going to talk a little bit about the big basketball matchup down in Auburn as Alabama travels down there to take on the number one Auburn Tigers. So we're going to talk all about that here in just a few minutes. But first, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. Help us get to 100 likes on this video. And if you look, we're so close to 500 subscribers, which is our goal. And then after that, we're going to move to 1,000. So help us reach our goal by hitting that subscribe button. And while you're at it, jump in the comment section right now and answer today's question. Will Alabama beat Auburn Tuesday night as they travel down to Auburn? Y for yes, N for no. And like always, feel free to expand on your answer in the comment section. I cannot wait to hear from each and every one of you. So while we're talking about the basketball game, let's just look at that for just a quick minute. Alabama is coming off that massive win over the Baylor Bears, and now they have, just a resume that is Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, they have losses to Missouri and Georgia, to Davison, to Iona, but now they have wins against Gonzaga, Houston, Baylor. Just an incredible resume for Alabama. I think they have 5 top 25 wins, which is the most in the country. So Nate Oats has been able to get it done, and this team has been able to get it done when the competition is high. But they've also kind of played down to the level of competition as well when it's not been that great of opponent. So tomorrow night, it's going to be all about, how they defend Jabari Smith, the talented, a guy who I think should probably be the number one pick in next year's NBA draft. They got Walker Kessler, the big 7-footer down there who's tough to guard. KD Johnson. They have a lot of players and talented players down there in Auburn. Of course, that's why they're the number one team in the country. But I think Alabama is talented enough to go down there and beat Auburn. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough for those guys, especially after the big win on Saturday against Baylor, to kind of carry that momentum down there to Auburn on the road during a weeknight. So it's going to be a fun game. I look forward to it. I think Alabama has a great chance. I think they keep it close, and that's really all you can ask for on a road game against the number one team in the country. All right, so now let's move on and talk a little bit about Bill O'Brien. And it looks like he's probably going to move on to the NFL. It looks like Josh McDaniels has taken the head coaching job with the Raiders. And of course, now that means the offensive coordinator position is open with the New England Patriots and Mac Jones. Of course, Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien have a long-lasting relationship. Bill O'Brien worked for Belichick from 2007 to 2011, so they have a great relationship. Obviously, Bill O'Brien is a great offensive mind. Not sure how well he meshed with the college players, much like Doug Marrone. How well they meshed with the college players was really probably about the biggest problem that they had. It's not that they can't coach. It's not that they don't know football. It's just about the fit. And it just didn't seem like those guys fit as well as what we're used to seeing down there in Tuscaloosa. So there's a great possibility that Bill O'Brien will be moving on to the NFL, and that means the Alabama offensive coordinator position is going to be wide open. And who knows where Nick Saban goes right now with that move. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that play out, but he's going to have to make a move quick because spring practice starts here just in a few weeks. So that is going to be something to monitor, really by the second over the next few days. So that's going to be something to really keep your eye on, and we're really looking forward to seeing, kind of what direction that takes, whether he does take a job in the NFL or what happens there. All right, so let's talk now about the commitment that Alabama got on Monday from a legacy player, Elliot Washington II. Of course, his dad played for Wimp Sanderson in the early 90s there in Tuscaloosa on the basketball team. So a lot of tradition with his family there at the University of Alabama. But he says that's not really a factor in his decision-making process. Elliot Washington II is a talented 4-star prospect from Venus High School in Florida, around the 10th ranked safety in the country, kind of according to who you look at, but a really talented player. If you watch his style of play and how he plays on the field, I think he's going to translate to a star position type player like a Brian Branch, a Minka Fitzpatrick. He's around 5'11", 6 foot, maybe 180 pounds at the moment. So he's got that ideal size for that star position, great coverage skills, really solid man-to-man coverage player. And he's a guy who makes a lot of plays on the football. So I'm really excited to see how Elliot Washington transfers to the next level. Of course, he's just going to be a senior this upcoming year. So he has a whole nother year of high school football, a whole nother year to get bigger, stronger, faster, and improve his rankings there in the recruiting side of it. But he's a talented player, offers from all across the country, including Ohio State. So the other big dogs around the country wanted him as well. So it's a big time get for Alabama. And it's the first commitment for the class of 2023. And that is a heck of a way to get that class started. So a lot of big things are happening right now around Tuscaloosa. Like I said, the basketball team's traveling to Auburn to take on the top ranked team in the country. So they have another opportunity to get a top 25 win and another opportunity to beat, one of the top 5 teams in the country. So they've already beaten Baylor, Houston, and Gonzaga, and now they have a chance to beat number 1 Auburn. So that would kind of be icing on the cake for Nate Oats and the basketball team. And don't forget, here this coming Saturday, they're going to host the Kentucky Wildcats, who is also a top 10 team. So it's not going to get any easier for those guys. So it's time to start piling up the wins and just, building on that resume that they already have. So there's a lot to look forward to on the hardwood. Of course, the softball team and the baseball teams will be getting underway really soon as well. The softball team is preseason favorite to win the SEC. So there's a lot happening there in Tuscaloosa. We're going to be here at the Tide Talk podcast to be covering all of that from start to finish. So that's why you need to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. That's going to do it for this episode of the Tide Talk podcast. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Roll Tide.